Hey everybody, so this is my latest project right now. Because I have such a small garage, I really don't have a shop. You know, you kind of have to multitask. So, you know, obviously I have a bench right there with a wooden top on it that I have a vinyl or what is it? Not plastic, but overlay on it to protect the wood. And then I've got one here. I've got one coming for this as well, but right now it's just got a plywood sort of press board, cardboard on top of it right now until I get the one I want in. And then I had this for a while. I've had this for a while. I was using for something else. But what I did is I decided, since it was sitting and getting wet, it was just not being used for years, I decided to make a bench out of it. And I'll show you what I'm doing with that, but just so you know. So I got 4x4 posts, glued them in, screwed them down with lag bolts, and then on the underside of this, I have 2x4s like this right here, up inside of it underneath, that run the length, that attached to this side of it, screwed it in, and then screwed it in the top, and I glued everything in. Glued everything together to give it added stability. I wanted to be able to at least make something in case I ever want to take this apart again. And then to give sort of stability to the bottom part, I have inside from here all the way to the other side 2x4s, and then I put 2x4s on the outside so I can make a shelf and try and sort of clean up my mess and keep things compact, if you will. And then down here, of course, I put it on casters, and you always want to put plywood on the bottom, because if you just screw in the casters, it's going into the grain, with the grain, and they pull out easily. So you want to glue and screw down the plywood and then screw the casters through the plywood. That gives us added strength.
You will grow from boys into men, from men into gladiators, and from gladiators into Swansons. Behold, the Swanson Pyramid of Greatness.
So what do I mean by it's going to be multifunctional? I'm going to put down a vinyl or plastic or PVC, whatever, top on this. And then on top of that top, I wanted to have something that I could actually throw some things down. It didn't matter if it was oily, because I don't want anything soaking into the wood. So that'll go down, the plastic PVC will go down on here, covering the whole thing. And then this is going to go on top of it. Now, you could go to like Home Depot and get one of those Husky things. I have an odd size table, so none of them worked. This is 30 by 52. It's 30 inches deep. And you could, you know, for $199 or some odd dollars, you could buy a Husky made one, which has a, I think it's 20 gauge. But that's awfully expensive if you think about it, that 20 gauge. And this stuff here is, let's see here, let's see if we can, I need to find a edge.
Hi there, is there a project you're working on?
I know more than you.
All right.
So anyway, you could get a about 20, I think it's 20 gauge from, you know, toppers and whatnot. And here's this one here. I got this at the recycle place, and this is 20 gauge right there. So I could get the same thickness than what they find at, you know, Home Depot, Lowe's, whatever. Toppers, pre-made toppers, but I couldn't find anything to match my my size here. So I ended up actually thinking, why not just make one myself? These things that are these plates that I got here, and it's I think it's like a Gaviline, okay? And $5 for the whole thing. $5. So I'm gonna make a top here, and I'm gonna cut it, and I'll show you. And I had to weld together here. It's not done yet. Actually, I was just cleaning up some pieces, but and it's not the best. This is with my old welder that I'm going to get rid of. It runs on 120. It's flux core MIG, and you know, I'm not happy with it. The welds aren't as great. I mean, they hold. This is going to hold for sure. And I got some penetration through it because I used, you know, I cracked it just a little bit, clamped it down, and then welded it on top of this plate right here, so it wouldn't stick. But I've got to grind this down, blend it in, and then this is going to be my top. And I'll show you what that looks like after I'm done, and maybe what you know, how I fashioned it. That way, this top can come off if I need to. Okay. And then I'll have a PVC topper on this if I need a bigger space, but something soft, not metal to scratch. And then if I need to take it off and just, you know, work on the wood for whatever reason, then I can do that as well. So I have 3 tables in one, so to speak, with interchangeable tops. And, you know, when you're in a small garage like this, man, you need something like that. Okay, so this is the bottom of it. And what I've done is I knew when I measured it out and cut, I only cut on 2 sides, that I wanted 1.5 inches of this to roll down over the edge here. So, you know, it wouldn't move around on top at all. So these lips got to come over. So I measured 1.5. Now, these are my cut lines because when you bring it down, they'll pinch together and I'll weld that seam right here on these corners. But what I'm going to do is, in order to bend it easier, I'm going to score it lightly with a cutting wheel, just really lightly along these lines all around. And then when I get to it, I'll cut this lines a little off because I didn't make it straight like this one because this was on the table at the time. So I had to, when I cut my edge, which is not the best cutting edge over here, I didn't lay it straight after this. I just anyway, I'm going to fix that. But, so we'll cut out this little square here. And so when you bend it down, it'll bend over easier. Maybe use a light hammer, maybe a light body and fender set hammer. And you just tap it very lightly all the way down. You don't want to go down all at once because you'll screw it all up and you'll bend the metal. So tight, you know, tap, 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 tap. Very carefully, very slowly, and that'll get the lip down. So we'll see what it looks like when I do that. Okay, well, as we got Cat Power in the background. As Cat Power plays, I should probably turn this down a little bit or I'm gonna get a strike. Of course, we love YT, don't we? Yeah, they're just an amazing company. Okay, got it done pretty much. I still got some welding to do here and blending into the seam. Some places are better than others, but to be honest with you, this is not supposed to be, I mean, I'm not doing body work here. So, you know, if you're doing body work, you stitch, cool, 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 stitch, cool, stitch, cool, stitch, cool. And all I really wanted was just the top. That may or may not last very long. And to get the corners done and blend it in and whatnot, which I kind of have here. Just rounded them. I rounded them off a little bit after I welded in the corners, and that provides a little bit of strength to it. As you can see, it doesn't bend as much as it did, but the bending it over helps give it strength, and it also keeps it on the unit here that I am that I built. Now I've got a piece coming. I'll show you. It all goes together here in a little bit. Apparently I'm trying to push it back onto my little pallet here. The under part of this is going to come later, and probably tomorrow, and I'll show you the whole thing when it gets put together. But hey, if you're looking for a quick and dirty top and you want a metal top and you can't find one, or it's just outrageously expensive, man, go down and get, I think each one of these squares, this is, you know, sheet metal, 20 gauge sheet metal, and I think it was 31 by, not 28, it was 31 by 35 or something like that. And for 2 pieces, again, how much is that? $5. $5, or $1.99 for a stainless steel top. Stainless steel top will look better. I mean, there's just no doubt about it. But this will get you through if you're on a budget and, you know, you're like me and you want variety of tops. Sometimes I don't always need this. It'll scratch stuff up, especially when I'm working on plastic or something like that. I'm going to want it on wood or on that PVC vinyl topping, like, you know, something like this right here. So anyway, I'll show you what it looks like when we get the, when I get the last piece in. All right, hang loose. Coming back at you though. Okay, so I got the PVC mat in today. This was actually cheaper than buying something that's sort of pre-made or specified for a workbench. I just got a PVC mat that cost, I mean, it was less than 20 bucks for this thing, and it was huge. It was 72 inches by 40 some odd, and here's the piece I cut off it. You need a really sharp X-Acto knife to do that. I got a little edge to clean up here, but now what'll happen is my piece over here that I made, this piece, this middle piece, I'll just lay it right down on top of this. So if I ever need to work on a big bench and I need to have some sort of covering, protection, or whatever, this will be there. This will also protect the what's underneath this here from damage or oil or anything that might happen to leak through this. I've got all of the, this is the underside, so it's not perfect, but I've got all the little pinholes, sunlight holes you can see through this all plugged, and so we'll see what it looks like when we get it on here. Okay, all right. Okay, so it went down on here just nice, and see here, I'll pick it up there, and there it is underneath. And now it's got a nice fit. It fits pretty good, man. I mean, so now I've got, it also deadens it, by the way. It definitely deadens it so it's not loud if you set anything on it. The PVC deadens it. Now I've got a bunch of PVC that I don't know what to do with. I guess I'll keep it. And, you know, use it for some other application, small drawers, something like that maybe. But, yeah, that's it, man. That was nice. That was really easy to work with. I'll put a link to this, what I got. I got it from, you know, the jungle. So I'll put a link in there to this. And that way, if you are looking to cover up one of your tables, or even something like a Husky, a Craftsman, to be honest, I wouldn't buy this stuff. This stuff here will work just as well, and it's thicker. Let me see, let me show you here. This is thicker and than this. It should be pretty doggone evident how thick it is. And I would, if I were you, I would just buy whatever you need and cut it. And then you can use the rest for, you know, God knows what else. So anyway, there you go. I think that's, this is a pretty good job. Hang loose, man. We got rain coming in. But hey, it's, at this shoot, when I'm shooting this right now, it's near Thanksgiving, which is mint, right? It's totally mint. Cheers.